I found some footage. I was having a bit of a route around. I was moving some stuff onto my NAS drive, and I found this footage that I haven't done anything with. But I'll be honest, it's a bit ropey, right? And it's ropey because I filmed it on the GoPro, and it was in an LED lit area. But I thought, why not share it with you and see if I could do anything to clear it up? This stuff was from last year. I thought I'm going to get 2 videos out of one video, because I'm going to show you how I go about editing, and then you get to see the video. Now, I'll probably release the actual video first of all, but so you'll get the context of how that was created after the fact, but you'll get the idea. Anyway, my name's Rich, and this is It's Adventure. First thing I do as part of editing a new video is move previous week's recorded footage into the archive. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to this little doobie Birkin down here, this house. And this shows us all of the videos that we've got and the locations that we've got. So we were in local, recorded this one inside of a folder that I created for the start of January. The way I structure mine is I've just got a year and then a month, and then I put all the videos that I create for that month in that one folder, and then I recreate that in archive. So first of all, there we go, there's a big wave for the new year, and so I'm going to make that into a project archive. And what that does is it takes all of the footage that you've recorded and edited into that video, package it all together into a single entity, and stores that wherever you tell it to go. That way, when you want to pull that video back, you pull the video archive back, and it pulls back all the media as well. It's pretty cool. So here we are then. So it's not all the following day, and I haven't just got out of the shower on today's day. No, honestly, it's the same day, honest. So here we go then. So I'm on the local database. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the folder, and I'm going to select cut. Now all this is going to do, that's going to take a cut of the thumbnail and the link to the archive from my local hard disk, from my computer. And we're now going to scoot across onto the NAS. On the NAS drive, in here we're going to put a new project folder. I'm going to call it the same, so I've got easy reference, 2401. So that's 2024, January, and then inside of that folder, we're just going to go and paste the item that we've cut. So we can see then if we scoot back to the local copy is now empty. Scoot across to the NAS drive. There it is on the NAS drive. So if we open up from the NAS drive now, loading, there we go. It's pretty damn quick. Comes in, and we can just play it. All good. So that is finishing off previous week's. So that's just the first bit. So now we can actually start creating the new project for this new video creation. Local database. We're still in January 2024, and I'm going to call this new one Triumph Day. So that is going to be the folder that we're going to put all of the Triumph Day stuff into. And inside of there, going to have a project now, a new project, calling it Triumph Day. So here we have brand new, empty timeline, nothing in it for Triumph Day. So now what I've got to do is go and pick up video and anything else that I've recorded. So if I've done sound or whatever, what I do is I tend to put it all into a location. This is a bit teeny tiny, but I'll try and show you what's going on. So inside of my folder structure, I put everything inside of DaVinci Resolve. And I've got this thing called Capture, where all of the stuff that I've recorded, I just create folders and dump all of the footage from a particular thing that I've recorded into a light folder. So down in here, I've got Trip Up North, Drone, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is some of the footage from the stuff that I've recorded. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the folder and I'm dropping it into this area. Now, all this area tells me these are the things that you can work with. Now, all of the footage in here, I know that I'm going to be using, so I'm just going to select all of it and then click and drag it into, this is now the editing area. All of the captured files in this area can be pulled in and used and added into the timeline. So now when I scoot across to the edit window, here I've got all of the stuff I'm going to do. So this is the cut page. Okay, so this is where you select what you're going to have, the main bits of the footage that you're going to include on the timeline. So if we look down, here's the footage, and we start playing from the start. There we go. So what we want to do is want to ignore all of that stuff at the start and just get where we start talking. So I'm going to start from that point, and we can say this is where we want to go in.
My name's Rich, and this is It's Adventure.
And then that is where we're going to go out. And that is going to be the first bit of footage that we want to bring into the timeline. To bring it in, we're going to say F9, bring that in right at the start. And see what we've got next.
So there we go. I'm up in the middle of it.
I want to start here. Bring that in a bit.
I'm up in the middle.
In there. There we go. So then you can add that in by the F9 again. And then that is a good point at which to bring in the actual intro. So we'll add that on the end. So we're starting now to build up our timeline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot through and do all of this, add the timeline in, rough cut it, and then we'll come through to the detailed edit. Now to the edit page. Now this is where I've got some whizzy stuff that I've set up. So on my keyboard I've got a couple of fast keys I've set. Trim left set on Q, I've got trim right set on W, and I've got cut on E. So with these three keys I can now really quickly res through the timeline and cut out the dead frames. So what I'm going to do is just going to watch through. Not so bad so far, the initial cut's done alright. Alright, so that's that bit. So in here, let's zoom in a bit, see what we're actually looking at. So there's the first bit of sound. So select, cut left, done, move on. What I'm going to do there is actually take it from there and just cut all of that off to the right. Do same again there. Now we've got some issues we can see with this flicker going on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that clip and look for a filter to see if I can do anything to actually clean that up. Now I know there is a quick clean called deflicker. There we go. So let's try that, applying deflicker. Let's see if it's actually just worked. That's not too bad. Yeah, that has improved it no end. Oh, look at that flicker is really bad. So we'll apply it again. See how that looks. Doesn't appear to have worked too well on that one. That's made a vast difference. It hasn't cleaned it up completely, but it has done a really good job of improving it. We have now set in the timeline, we've got all of the clips in that we want to use for the actual video, but there's still some issues that I've got with this banding going on. I mean, that one's really pronounced, and we can see the conflict of the flash that you get from an LED. I don't know if you know, but LEDs, to save power, they turn off and on really quickly, faster than the eye can actually recognise, but it isn't fast enough for the camera. What you can get is you can get periods where one light is open and the camera is closed, and then the light goes off and the camera opens. So you end up with this conflict of sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's light. And because the way a processor works within a camera, it does rows of sensors within your camera lens, working to be able to pick up all of these dots, you end up with these bands going across the image like this, and it's quite annoying. So there is a deflicker within DaVinci Resolve. it's the first time I've used it, so I'm trying to work out how best to do it. So I'm just going to have a play around with it, see what I can get, which the best results are, and then I'll come back to you in a minute. So now we're at the point where we've got all the clips in the timeline, and now I want to put some music to it. So there's a really cool facility within YouTube Studio. So if you go into your YouTube Studio account, down at the bottom left here is this audio library. Now in audio library you get a bunch of tunes and you get a bunch of sound effects, all sorts of things that you can use in your videos. Most of them are royalty free, so you can put them in there without having any worries about being charged and getting a strike against you. Some of them do have a need to be able to put in the artist and where it's come from, and maybe a link to their sort of video or terms or whatever, but some amazing stuff in here. You've got a search at the top here, and the ability in here you can actually select your genre and your mood of the music. So I've selected rock and alternative, and I've got an angry need and dramatic and also funky as well. And so then I can go through each of the tunes, play a few of them, see what they sound like, and if I like them I can do a download, select them, put them into the file ready to be added into the track. So this is pretty good. So we select download, away it goes, downloading, and then inside of my file menu what I'll do, I'll take my download and then add it in to the folder. So there we go. These are the ones that I've selected for inclusion alongside the images. Right, so let's scoot back now. Let's get that one paused. We'll scoot back across to DaVinci, and then we'll get the music added in for the last bit. There we go, there we go, there we go. So that's the last bit of the edit done. I've now got my levels set. I've got the audio ducking, so it's where you dip the music down to be able to get everything that I'm saying. In fact, there was a bit of noise in one of the edit areas, where a bit of noise in the background from the wind. So what I've had to do is add some subtitles in so people can understand what's going on. But that's it. The last bit of the cut. All that's left now is to make sure it all sort of looks about right. I've got 2 pieces of music in there, which is fine. A bit quiet at the start, but we'll see how it goes. Now is to actually get it to render. One thing I do have to do is make sure I render the entire video, which is all selected now, which is fine. I'm now going to give it a working title. Triumphant Day. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to copy that down to my YouTube settings. I'm going to upscale it to HD, and we're going to call it Grand Day Out in Hinckley. There we go. Add it to the render queue. Tell it where I'm going to save it, which is in Movies, in Capture, and Triumph Day. That's where it's going to go. There it is, ready to go, and render. Now by doing that, what that actually does is it runs through, edits it, and puts it into an MP4 format. It will save a copy locally here, and also because this is linked up to my YouTube account, it will push a copy of it straight onto my YouTube channel. It'll be marked up as private because that's what I've selected in the options there. And then when I'm ready, I can set the schedule, I can add in extra details in the title, all the links that I said that I'm going to add in, I can add those in as well, and that's good to go. So that is pretty much how I do the factory edit for my videos. We've got the intro, we've got the outro, got the edited stuff in the middle, got the music that's provided from YouTube, all good. So I hope some of that was useful for you, and maybe you got to pick some of the cut from it, maybe not, I don't know. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Rich, and this is It's Adventure. I'll see you again. conspiring against me. Backup isn't online. Right, let's do that. Which hasn't connected for some reason. Do you know what? It's blooming well like that today. This is the third time that I've ended up having to stop and do reset, but I'll be back within a minute. And I've just realised I haven't done a screen recording, so I'm going to do that again. Fuck. So, now that we've got the... Let's do that again. Oh my word, there we go again. Right. We have now set in the timeline, we've got all of the clips in that we want to use for the actual video. But, fun. Not fun really.